Does DJI even care whatsoever that I provided them with a full video showing that I did not do that whatsoever? They are trying to charge me for a freaking aesthetic issue on one of the legs for $613 US. Hey everyone, my name is Carson Miller, and this is my brand new DJI Mavic 3. If you don't know how my drone got into this situation, definitely make sure to check out my review and crash video right up there. But assuming you've already watched that, in this video, what I'm gonna be doing is covering my entire experience and the process of reaching out to DJI Support to get a product serviced and repaired. So, a couple of facts before getting into that. First off, this drone was in active track mode while the drone crashed. So I was not manually piloting the drone when this occurred. So it was a software issue, but we'll have to see how DJI treats that. Secondly, I neglected to get DJI Care refresh. So I don't have insurance on this drone. But thirdly, the drone is within 30 days of purchase, and I did purchase it directly from DJI.com. So we'll have to see if they treat it differently because of that. But with that said, let's get right into the video and see if we can get this repaired. Before you can go and send off your product to DJI, of course you do have to open up a case with them. So all I did was I went to Google and Googled DJI Support. Took me to their website, and from there I just opened up a live chat and began talking to a person who went by Alex. And Alex was pretty nice, which was great. This entire process only took me around 20 minutes, so it was pretty quick. Basically, I just explained my situation to Alex, and he sent me a link to fill out an online repair request. When creating a repair request, you will be able to describe what happened and elaborate in further detail as far as your specific situation. You will have to go ahead and provide a proof of purchase, just so then they can know where you got it from and when. Then from there, you're able to determine yourself whether you believe that this occurred based on user error or product issues. And obviously in my case, because my drone crashed as a result of Active Track 5, I chose product issue. And then after I did that, finally you are able to choose whether you would like DJI to go and perform data analysis on your case, which allows them to just go and review your flight logs. And so because my case happened based on Active Track 5, I decided that it was probably worthwhile to add in that data analysis. It does take a couple more days for them to go and review your case, but I figured it would be worthwhile in this case just because of the circumstances of what happened. After providing all of this information, you will have to choose whether you are sending in just the broken components or the entire product itself, which, just as a side note, make sure you don't send any of these things in the mail or else you could get in trouble. And then you provide your shipping address basically and click submit. After you've done that, within around 2 minutes to 48 hours, at least according to Alex, you will receive a prepaid UPS shipping label. And I received mine within 2 minutes, may even been less than that, which was great. And from there, you are pretty much all set. Alongside that, you do get a case number so you can keep track of everything that's happening in your case. But now that I have the label, it is time to head off to UPS.
All right, as we speak, I'm headed to UPS, and I did not box up the drone. I did print out the label though, but usually UPS has boxes and shipping supplies and stuff. So I just figured I'd get that from there, but I'll let you know when I get there.
I need this to be boxed up and shipped out with this label.
Okay. A box will cost a little bit.
Okay.
It'll be like, let's see, be about $250.
Okay, that's fine.
If you wouldn't mind placing that on the scale there, and could I see that?
Yep.
It is next to it.
All right, do I have to do anything else, or you'll...
Nope, that's it.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep, have a good day.
All right, so keeping track of everything that I have had to spend so far to repair or replace my Mavic 3, I've spent $2.54 at UPS to get a box, which, of course, if you have your own box, you wouldn't have to go and buy that. But assuming not everybody has a box sitting around, I decided to go and buy one just to see how expensive that would be, which $2.54 really isn't that bad. But after dropping that off at UPS, I dropped that off on Tuesday, December 14th, and it took 6 days total to reach California on Monday the 20th. Then, after it arrived in California, surprisingly, it only took 1 day for DJI to go and assess the damages of my drone, review the data, everything like that, and then provide a resolution to my case, which in this case was a quote for $613 US dollars. To say I was surprised when I first saw this quote would be a gross understatement. I mean, I've already spent $2,200 on this drone. I bought it directly from DJI store. I've only had it for less than 30 days. It was like 25 days at this point. And the drone was an Active Track 5 when this crash occurred. Where is this quote coming from? $613? So I decided to take a closer look then at that quotation to see what items were adding up to this amount. And this is the list of items that they had provided me. You can pause and take a closer look if you would like, but one thing that definitely threw me off is the $385 aircraft core board module for the Mavic 3. What? I mean, in what way is the core board broken? I mean, obviously you can't see physically if the board is broken, and I'm not a repair tech, but to me, it did not appear at all that the core board was broken. I don't know why they're trying to throw this one in. It just seems a little off. Maybe the drone destroys the board in a crash somehow. I don't know, but as furious as I was not prepared to pay that $613 US. And I'm not trying to say that out of like privilege or anything like that. I just truly do not believe that it was my fault whatsoever that the drone crashed. And I will pretty much stand by that till the day I die. I mean, did they even look at the video that I provided them when I opened up this case? It really didn't appear so, and they didn't even say anything about the video in the quote or in the analysis that they did or in any of the 6 images that they provided in the case, which, just going to those images really quick, gosh, they are trying to charge me for a freaking aesthetic issue on one of the legs. Unless it broke in shipping, that right leg was not broken at all, and as far as I can tell, it is an aesthetic issue, and they're trying to charge me to replace the entire arm. Whatever. Anyways, so back to my response to DJI in regards to my case. I decided to go and respond to the email that they provided me when they sent me this quotation. And let's just say it's probably not the nicest email that I've ever written. I tried to refrain myself a little bit and not be too rude or anything like that, but here's my response that I gave to DJI. Hello, DJI service. I have some questions in regards to the analysis done on my Mavic 3, which I firmly believe crashed as a result of Active Track 5.0, as well as questions about the subsequent quote as well. 1. Firstly, could you please provide more information in regards to how the crash was deemed as, quote, not covered by warranty, end quote. I'm unable to locate anywhere within the service policy anything which states crashes as a result of the new autonomous modes, i.e. Active Track 5.0, of the Mavic 3 aren't covered under warranty. Could you please help me locate that, as well as just explain further how this conclusion was come to? Which, just as a side note, I literally scoured that entire service policy and I did not find anything. If you found anything yourself, definitely leave that down in the comments below. But anyways, moving on to point number 2. Secondly, Active Track 5.0 in DJI's promotional video that they released when they first announced the Mavic 3 clearly shows the Mavic 3 swerving around trees, avoiding obstacles, and the video says that the, quote,
Mavic 3 can automatically sense and avoid obstacles during flight, even when moving sideways and backwards. This also allows Active Track 5.0 to be more advanced than ever before, providing safe and reliable tracking, even of fast-moving subjects in complex environments.
Either this is false advertising or DJI does not stand by their products, considering that is precisely what caused the crash of my Mavic 3. It did not avoid the obstacle it crashed into like the trailer suggests, even in a non-complex environment. There was no major wind, it was daytime, it was not flying in an area or manner considered reckless. Thirdly, I am curious if you could provide me any forms of discounts that you could offer me for this repair, if not an entire replacement. The reason I ask is due to my content production on YouTube surrounding DJI products. I've garnered over 15 million views or 179 million impressions across my channel for videos that focus on DJI products alone. And then I go on to mention that I only have 2 million views across other topics on my channel, so it's definitely clear that DJI is pretty much my primary focus. And on top of that, since mid-2016, I've driven over 136 paid orders through DJI directly. And then on top of that, another 128 paid orders directly from DJI paid orders on Amazon. And then I am more than willing to say that I have driven hundreds of more orders from stores or other sources that I just can't personally track because I don't have affiliates or anything like that. So then I ended off by saying I would appreciate a response on each of the 3 points I've made in this email. Thank you for your time in reading my response. I am looking forward to hearing back from you. Kind regards, Carson Miller. I sent this email off to DJI at 3:18 p.m. on December 21st, and DJI surprisingly got back to me within 3 hours at 6:10 p.m., and I got a response here from Honey. Their response was, "This is Honey from the technical support team, and I will be assisting you in this case from now on related to inquiries about data analysis. Here's the result of your case. 1. Unit took off with normal GPS signal and was in active track mode. 2. Flight time 1687 seconds, relative height of 9.8 meters, distance to home point of 492 meters. 3. User commanded throttle down before impact. 4. Unit was descending before impact. 5. Tree branches, cables, light poles, or other small surface area objects, slanted roof, poor lighting. This is not detected by the vision system due to hardware limitation. Environmental conditions such as lighting and the surface texture may impact the performance of visual system. Please refer to the user manual for more details. According to the analysis, the incident was not caused by product malfunction. Please fly with caution. We can still proceed with the repair. However, please be informed that you will be covering the repair charges. As a secondary option, if you have DJI Care Refresh, you will be able to use that as well. Blah, blah, blah. Your understanding and cooperation will be highly appreciated. Thank you for choosing DJI. Best regards, Honey." Throttle down? You mean when the drone went and got sucked into the tree on its own accord with active track 5, getting itself into that situation and plummeting to the ground? Yeah, no, I do not stand by that data analysis. I mean, once again, does DJI even care whatsoever that I provided them with a full video showing video, audio, logs, everything that you could ask for, synced all together, showing that I did not do that whatsoever? Apparently, they don't. So my response 18 minutes later at 6:29 p.m. to Honey was, "I'm sorry, but that is simply not true. In fact, the flight logs from the DJI Fly app show quite the opposite. I was actually pushing up on the altitude stick when the crash occurred. The stick mode that I was in at the time was default mode B. Please review the following video with the flight logs synced up with the video obtained from the DJI Fly app." DJI claiming I pulled down the altitude stick is simply not true. I will not stand with DJI saying I moved the drone downwards before the crash. Saying that literally neglects any of the video footage or logs that I got from the app that I have. I would not have done that with the years of experience I've had with flying drones and a tree being right there. I would like a full second data analysis by another technician if necessary. Please review this video of the crash, and I provide the same video I showed them before. The above footage is raw and unedited. If you require even more of a raw cut without the videos layered into one, I can provide those as well. Additionally, you did not address any of my other 2 concerns. I would still like a response on those. Carson Miller. So after that email, I didn't get anything back from DJI for a full 33 hours until December 23rd at 3:33 a.m. from a different person whose name was Holly. And she just so happened to be the manager of the DJI customer care team. Holly's response to this was, "Hi Carson, good day. This is Holly, the manager of DJI customer care team. Your response was escalated to me by our relevant team, and I appreciate the opportunity to address your concerns. After an overall review of the case as a gesture of cherishing customer relationships, we are glad to inform you that the case would treat as a free repair case. Please kindly be informed that this is a one-off offer for you and for this individual case. A new quotation would be sent to you after the Christmas holiday without actual payment required. We'd like to express our regrets for this inconvenience and experience during case handling, and thank you for showing your interest and support in our products. Should you need any further assistance, please let me know. Best regards, Holly." So yeah, yay, I guess. I mean, I did get a free replacement from DJI, which is definitely what I was going for, and I'm very grateful that they did that. However, she completely failed to answer any of my other questions or respond to the fact that DJI is literally ignoring all the video evidence that I provided them, and that video just shows the complete opposite of what they're saying. So instead of just leaving the chat at that, I decided to respond once more, and you can pause to read this entire email if you wish, but just to sum it up, I asked about whether or not you can get DJI Care Refresh on a replacement Mavic 3, whether on future cases DJI could actually look at video evidence provided by customers. And then lastly, I also provided my own analysis of what I believe happened in this case based on what I perceived happening and saw myself. So in response to this, Holly got back to me within about 13 hours that same day on December 23rd, and summing up Holly's response, she essentially said, "Yes, you can purchase DJI Care Refresh for the replacement Mavic 3, but you only have 48 to 72 hours from the time that you receive an email telling you that you can purchase it. Also, directly quoting her email, she said, quote, "Thanks for your advice on customer service. We've reviewed the data analysis result, and it does match your description about no instruction input by the pilot before the crash. However, the flight environment is not friendly for the drone as too many branches are there. We do understand it's hard for the customer to accept a paid repair under this situation, hence, the case is treated as free while there is no quality issue found. And then she closed off her response by directly contradicting herself, saying DJI is continuously seeking feedback to drive improvements in service, yet DJI cannot change their procedures right now, but she documented everything, so that's a good thing. Whatever, Holly. But going back to one thing that she did say in regards to that data analysis, my description of what happened was in fact what happened, and it wasn't my fault, but it was a fault of the software, but you're not going to admit it. It's what it sounds like to me. And it was in a situation that was not that bad of an environment and not that out of the ordinary. Playing my own devil's advocate here, the branches that the drone was flying near were indeed relatively small, but there was a large grouping of them that with the vision-based system that the Mavic 3 has, I would definitely assume it would at least see a clump of branches and avoid that, but it didn't do that. But on that note, that closes off all the communications I had with DJI. Everything after that point were just automated responses. But after that was done, it took another 4 days for DJI to go and send me an update on my case, which included a tracking number so I could track the new drone coming my way. And that was on December 27th. And then also on that same day, on December 27th, I did receive that email that Holly was referencing, where it gave me 72 hours from the time that I received that email to pick up DJI Care Refresh for my new Mavic 3. But back to the drone being shipped, it surprisingly only took 2 days for the replacement drone to arrive on December 29th. So I was very surprised with that return service and very pleased with that. But with that said, that brings us to this box right here, which, as you probably guessed, this is the replacement Mavic 3. And if you're curious about how they do this, what they send you, let's go and open this up so you can see what they got. So I did already take a peek at this, so I apologize for that, but I just had to make sure that they actually sent me the right thing. But they did. So you actually get a brand new box. So this was closed off when I got it, like with the peel seal, but I took that off because I also had to check. They also sent me some new propellers, which is great. They sent me 4 brand new propellers. All of the other ones were destroyed, so that makes sense. Opening it up, you get the drone just as you would expect, but you don't get anything else other than some silica gel packets. So let's set that aside and open this up. Awesome. So I got the replacement gimbal protector, so I did send that off when I sent out my drone, so I'm glad I got that. And of course it does not come with a battery because they don't ship that, and you're not supposed to ship that out. So I got my own battery, and with that said, and this opened up, I'm gonna go and get this linked up to my existing controller, and let's see if it works. That's a good sound. Also a good thing to see is the camera attached, of course. Hey, would you look at that? We've got a full video signal now again. And the whole linking process between the controller and the drone was really easy. So yeah, everything looks all good. The camera works, and we'll have to see how it flies later after I've registered the aircraft. But otherwise, seems to be good to me. So I'm gonna just sit that aside. And also one thing that I did not mention yet is that I did decide to go and pick up DJI Hair Refresh after going through this terrible experience that I've had. And I decided to go with the 2-year plan. So that means that I spent $381.73 because I did go and use the DJI credit that I got when I purchased the Mavic 3 from the site. So that was good, and I didn't have to spend the full $400 on the plan. But for those keeping track at home for how much I've spent so far, in total, I've spent $384.27. And on top of that, I will have to go, like I said, and go and register this new serial number of this drone through the FAA, so I can go and legally fly it since it's got to be registered. So then that in total will bring my grand total spent on this Mavic 3 replacement to $389.27 in US dollars. So definitely not the $600+ that DJI was looking to have me to spend, but still a lot of money for something that I already spent quite a bit of money on. And also, one thing to mention is that with that Care refresh, the first replacement will cost you $159 US. The second will cost $199 US. And God forbid, if you need a third replacement, that one will cost you $229 US. And if you are unable to recover your aircraft and you've got a full flyaway, that's not just one of those small prices. You got to pay $739 to get a full replacement. And that's for the standard models or the Cine models. And so with that in mind, I will definitely leave it up to you on whether or not you believe it's worth it to go and pick up Care Refresh, or if you should just go with a small private insurance company that probably has lower deductibles than that, but definitely pretty pricey, especially if you don't look at the fact that you have to pay each time you get a drone replaced. So there you have it. That is my entire experience with DJI Support. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me that this was definitely on DJI and they should have replaced it from the first place? Did they treat this well? What do you guys think? I would definitely love to know what you think down in the comments below. And DJI, if you are watching this right now, I have 3 requests that I really hope that you can change. 1, please do not make your advertisements as misleading as they are. From watching that advertisement that you gave when you first released this Mavic 3, it basically gives consumers a godlike feeling of what this drone is capable of. And if it's not truly capable of doing all the things that you say it is, don't include it in the advertisements. 2, and it kind of goes alongside that, add a warning inside the DJI Fly app when using Active Track 5 that says that it is not capable of doing all the things that you say it can do in the advertisements, and saying that it's not capable of avoiding X, Y, Z. Because at this point in time, when you watch that advertisement, it just gives you a false hope of what this drone is capable of actually doing, at least in its current state. And like I said in my original review video, Active Track 5 is basically kind of in a beta right now. It's not technically beta, as you guys would call it, but it's not fully improved right now. So it would definitely be beneficial to include some sort of warning in the app. And lastly, 3, in general, please do not ever try to gaslight your customers like you did to me ever again. That is completely unacceptable for me to have video evidence of what happened and you guys trying to tell me the complete opposite of what actually happened. It's just not the way you should treat customers. I will say, however, that I am very appreciative that you guys ended up sending me a replacement drone. So thank you very much for that. I am not ungrateful for it. So thank you for doing that. And I will definitely be sure to take better care of this drone going forward, as well as just not really trusting Active Track 5, at least in its current state, just because I don't want what happened to happen again. One final thing before ending off this video I want to answer is for those curious about whether or not I will be picking up DJI products and recommending them in the future going forward based on this negative experience. I mean, yeah, the DJI is just so unmatched compared to anything else on the market in each of the categories that they're in that it's just hard to not recommend them, even with this negative experience, just because their products are so far beyond everything else that's on the market right now. I think that Autel is definitely getting very close. Certainly, that may change in the future, but as of right now, when I recommend DJI products going forward, I will certainly recommend you get insurance alongside those, or at the very least, definitely make sure to pick up Care Refresh so you don't have to ever go through what I went through here. It's just an overall stressful situation that you don't want to be in. So if you have a DJI drone right now or any other product, go out, get it insured with a private insurance company some way. You just need to get it insured so you don't have to deal with what I got. So anyways, that is it for this video. Once again, if you have anything else to say or you have any questions for me, leave those down in the comments below. Also, like this video if you made it this far because you're awesome, and subscribe for future videos from me, especially about the Mavic 3 now that I got a working drone. And you can check out some of my other videos by clicking right over there. But that is it for this one. So anyways, I will see you in the next video. Peace.